Welcome to another episode of In Swine Versation, Longevity in the Hoosier State with Malcolm DeKryger. Welcome, Malcolm.
Good to be with you this morning.
I know we go way back from your Indiana pork days through Randy Curlis, and you were one of the first authors on Swine Web, and I thought it'd be good to bring you back to the video format.
Yeah, it's good to be back with you. There's a lot of memories that go back a long time after all these years.
So you became president of Belstra Milling in 2013. Can you tell us about you and your company?
Sure. Belstra started in 1954 with Bud Belstra and was moving along as a local regional feed company for quite a few years. In 1991, they had already built one farm that was a PIC multiplier. And since then, our business that's when I came in 1991. Our business has grown a lot. We've grown both in the pig division. We're up to about 19,000 sows, producing about 550,000 some odd wean pigs a year, and our feed business has grown as well. We supply feed for all the pigs as well as probably close to 150,000 dairy cows and a lot of other species as well. My role as president came about. There was a point here where Tim Belstra was ready to go to a semi-retirement situation, and I was ready to take on the reins. And so I've been here a total of 32 years. I kind of know where most everything is at, and we've continued to go to pretty cool things in our careers.
So you've got the milling, transport, and the farm division. And Bud started in 1954.
Yeah, and we've actually formalized a lot of those here in the last 10 years while I've been president. The pig farms were sort of a standalone for a while, and now they are consolidated. And Belstra is a primary owner, although they're owned by many people in our community, including each of our families. Transport division was created probably about 7-8 years ago. Like many companies that have a transport division, it's sort of a firewall, if you will, to potential problems and if there's ever an accident. And now we've just actually started a fourth division that some of our next generation people are pretty excited about, which has to do with a lot of retail. In fact, they call it Belstra Farm and Garden. And we've got a couple of locations for that, and that's off and running. It's kind of going through its baby steps and growing, but we're very excited about it.
So I know employee relations are very important to you. You created a new book called Belstra Field Guide. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Sure. I've got a copy of it right here for your viewers to see. It's we actually kind of stole the idea from Cargill. We do a lot of work with Cargill on a lot of different levels, and they had what was called the Green Book. And when we saw that and got a copy of it, it got us kind of thinking. Our company is not just a pig farm company. We're a feed company. We've got transport people. We've got farm and garden people. Many of them aren't really sure how they all fit together in their particular work, and they may not have, feed mill people may not have been to pig farms and vice versa. So we put this thing together, and it kind of just lays out a lot of different topics that we believe in. What's our mission? What is our values? We're really big on our value statement of integrity, quality, and service. It talks about our 5-year plan, and it talks about our different divisions. And so the red is is the feed mill. It was the first one, and the blue is transport, green is pigs, and yellow is farm and garden. And then the other thing that it talks about is our logo. I mean, people wouldn't even think about a logo a lot of times, but we actually have a reason for it. Let me see if I can help find this here. So our logo, and you can probably see it on my shirt as well, says Belstra, but it also has the tulip. And you know, we're kind of very Dutch-based people around here. Belstra and DeKryger and a number of others have that. And the red petal is for feed. You know, it was the first one. The blue is for transport. Green is for the pigs that we're developing and growing, and the yellow now is for the farm and garden. And so there's a purpose for how that works. And we want this book to be able to help our wide variety of people understand, you know, just what kind of a team or what they're really a part of. And I've enjoyed this past 2 months getting to all of our different locations, total of about 18 meetings with different groups of people within our company, and going through it with them and being able to show them this thing and show them how they're a part of something bigger.
Yeah, they're a part of the team, and then they see the big picture and what you're trying to accomplish.
Exactly.
Is right
Yeah,
down.
exactly.
That's a great idea. Are you working with Purdue still? Are you doing something at Purdue University?
Yes. So for your listening audience, I'm a trustee for Purdue University. Have been now for 7 years. Purdue has 10 trustees. President reports to the Board of Trustees. 6 are appointed by the governor, so they're sort of politically based, and 3 are elected by the alumni. And of those 3, 1 must be from the College of Agriculture. And so I'm an alumni ag trustee, although with a university our size, you know, if you're one of the 10 trustees, you say grace over everything. And so we're not coming in with an agenda or a bias. You gotta look at everything. But yep, I thoroughly enjoy being a trustee. It's an insight to a whole different world than just agriculture, but it's allowed me to kind of see some really great people at work, and I think it's probably made me a better leader because of it.
So what have you seen change most about the feed business over the last few years?
You know, our feed business is very much a custom feed business. I mean, we have our pig feeds that are being worked on a monthly basis, you know, looking at our pricing, looking at our quality of ingredients, looking at the needs of our pigs, sows versus growing pigs and such. That's relatively standard, but it's very dynamic. It's always working. The dairy industry, we have a specific plant that we built just for dairy cows. Lots and lots of different nutritionists with different ideas about how to use their silages and what kind of a premix or supplement they want to put together. What we make for them is, you know, about 4 pounds per day plus minus out of an 80-pound ration on a daily basis. It's very technical, and we have almost 400 different ingredients in our feed plant. I mean, the complexity is humongous. And then we have some proprietary products that we're really starting to see grow. We're one of the leading manufacturers of rabbit feeds in the country. And you say, well, how many rabbits really are there? I was surprised when we got into it. It's a huge number. And now we're really seeing a lot of growth in goats and also in backyard poultry. And, you know, once the pandemic hit, everybody wanted a few chickens in their backyard, and we are working like everybody else to try and feed them. It's a nice growing niche that we have. And so, you know, for us, the feed business is really multifaceted, and I guess, you know, we like it that way. The people that we have leading are good at their different areas, and we really try to meld that all together on a daily basis.
Is there any positive with inflation?
You know, look, I'm it's hard for me to see a positive in it. The interesting thing is that we have really good pig prices, really good dairy prices, but the cost of feed ingredients has gone through the roof, of course. Cost of labor is going through the roof. Our cost of health insurance for our employees is going sky high these days. The margin is not getting any bigger, and the inflation is preventing that. I think that you know, my bias is that when you pump a lot of money into the economy, somebody's going to spend it and the prices go up. And so here we are, and we just have to deal with it.
What about your vision? The vision from when you started and the vision over the next few years?
That's a great question. I remember distinctly visiting Bob Ruth, who's now with Clemens. I remember visiting Bob when he was at Prestige, and I thought to myself, wow, if we could get to 5,000 sows, that would really be something. And you know, and then you fight so hard for your first farm, and then one thing leads to another, and the vision has changed over my career. We've definitely passed up the 5,000 sows. We've, you know, our feed division is hundreds of thousands of tons today. We're very blessed in so many ways. The number of employees that we have is grown exponentially. You know, the vision that I have today is different, I think, and realistically, it's much more attuned to looking at and listening to what the next generation is looking for. I'm definitely the leader in the business of our company, but certainly my son Nick, who's the vice president for business and finance, and the people of like him who are VPs for manufacturing or sales or facilities. Those are younger people. They've got some vision for where they want to see it go. I'm really excited about that. People have asked me, how long are you going to keep doing this? And I'm having way too much fun watching this next generation, supporting them, making sure that strategically that fits within our big picture. But these retail and packaged goods, that's a different sort of a feed business for us, and we believe that it's part of our core competency. So we're excited to see where it goes. I don't know that I would say that we're going to continue to add 10, 15,000 sows and finishing. That's really difficult right now with the cost of construction and the challenges of zoning and siting and the volatility of that world market. We've got plenty. We need to continue to do a good job for all the animals that we service, and I think we'll get along just fine. I'm excited, but we're probably branching a little bit more than what many people would think.
What does customer service mean to you?
Boy, it's a whole lot bigger today than it was 10 years ago. We actually have a staff of 4 that are full-time in customer service, along with sales. The complexity of what it takes to make great feed really starts at that point of entry with our customer service people. It takes a special type of person to deal with scheduling and the exact type of an order, the exact type of transportation, the timing, helping be part of the team that coordinates when products are made, in what sequence they're made, what packaging has to happen, or what truck is going to get underneath it. Our customer service team is just integral to what our business is about today.
So we touched in the opening about longevity in the Hoosier state. If anyone doesn't know, the Hoosier state is Indiana. What does it mean to be an Indiana farmer?
Look, I came to Indiana from Michigan 40 years ago and really didn't understand what all Indiana was about. I did not understand about what Purdue was about as the ag school. When I graduated and got out into the working world, people kept asking me, well, what is it about you Purdue people? You all seem to like each other, and it's all around Indiana. And first of all, we're of the states west of the Appalachian Mountains. I think we're the smallest size. We're not, we have a certain number of people, but in ag, we're pretty tight. There's a diversity, but it's not as diverse as other states next to us, like a Michigan. And I think that we are a part of a state that is it's relatively conservative in its government. We've had some leaders who are fiscally responsible, and that makes us very very keen on having a state that is very very solid. We've been blessed with good leaders. We have good soils. We have strong long-term families that are part of agriculture. We are welcoming to the next generation that's coming in. We understand that our future lies with those young people. We're also very humble in the fact that we know who really is in control of the forces of crops and livestock and stuff like that. I think we're fairly faith-based in that respect. And so there's a lot of things about this that just fit me very well. They fit my family very well. My children are part of our business. My son is deeply involved in my business, and that is a great joy. And I think that a lot of Indiana farm families would echo that same thing.
Can we still grow the hog business in Indiana?
Governor Mitch Daniels about 20 years ago, 18 to 20 years ago, was really keen on trying to have that happen. I think that it has grown significantly here in Indiana over the last 18 to 20 years. I would also say that the chance for that kind of growth is slowing down. I don't know that it's about Indiana. I think there's places to continue to put facilities. I think that labor is clearly a limiting factor right now. I think that the cost of construction is a limiting factor. I don't know that the location of Indiana is a limiting factor. I think there's other things that are probably higher on that list today than just being from Indiana.
So let's touch on two hot topics in the industry. We'll get a brief comment from you, Malcolm. Prop 12.
Sure. I've got my master's degree in swine nutrition and management. I've been a professional pig person for my entire career. I love pigs. I believe that Prop 12 is wrong for the pigs. Open pens, and it's not the square footages, it's the combining of animals, particularly sows, that are in the manner of what they're wanting to have, that I think is going to be problematic for the sows. I think it's also very problematic for the employees. We've had large pen facilities, and the number of injuries and the fear of getting injured for the employees has been predominant in conversations. On the one farm where we had about 3,000 sows in big pens of 80 to 250, and put in pens within 5 days after weaning and bred, our injuries were so great that we were dropped by our regular workman's comp carrier and put into the state pool. I believe that this is going to be the case with these Prop 12 farms. I think it's a problem, and I hope that the Supreme Court recognizes that not only is it going to be an interstate commerce issue, which is the way that was presented, but it's going to be significantly hard on the animals, and I find that to be a travesty. And I think it's going to be particularly hard on the employees. And if the employees are scared that they're going to get hurt, I know that the care for the pigs is going to go down. And I just think that it's short-sighted to have state legislation get in the middle of pig production. I'm a trained professional. I think my staff and I know what we're doing. In fact, I know we know what we're doing. If it continues, then I probably will be going kicking and screaming someday, but I feel pretty strongly about not wanting to change for the sake of the pigs and the people.
And what about vertical integration? Is it good or bad?
I'm fine with it. I mean, everybody has a dream about their production. I think that the challenge becomes how, if you're not completely vertically integrated, how do you fit in? I would propose that because we are fully focused on pig production and not on what that end meat product is going to make for money, I think that our productivity is better. But I also see the advantages for somebody if they want to be in that vertical business, how that stream is a profitable type of business. Clearly, there is a challenge of figuring out what a business should look like between a commercial producer like ourselves and a packer. That's been an age-old struggle. I don't see that ever is going to go away, but I believe that it's problematic for a packer to be 100%. I think that there are opportunities for them to work with people like ourselves, and I think that if we work and study the best way to create our pricing, that we can work together very well. So I'm not intimidated by vertical integration at this point.
We're going to wrap on the Fair Oaks Farm Project. First, what is the Fair Oaks Farm Project for people that don't know? And I know you are heavily involved in that. If you can just touch on the project, the vision, success, and what it means to the industry.
Yeah, certainly. So here in Northwest Indiana, there's a exposition, if you will, for agriculture called Fair Oaks Farms. It's created by large dairy guys here in our area. And about 10 years ago, they invited us to build a pig farm and to get into the edutainment, the consumer education of agriculture. We built a farm, 2,800 sows, that really is exactly like our other farms, our sow farms, only it has a skybox in it, and customers, consumers, anybody can come and take a look from the skybox at what we do every single day. It has been something I'm very, very proud of. I never wanted to do it again. Education is a very expensive proposition. It's not a moneymaker. However, I believe that the exposure of the consumer to how their food is raised is incredibly important. I know that for the tens and tens of thousands that go through our facility every year through Fair Oaks and their tours, they walk away and they believe that we take good care of our pigs. Now, they may or may not want to eat any more pork, but you know what? I've seen lima beans raised in the field and I don't want to eat any more lima beans. So it doesn't have anything to do with that connection. But do we take good care of our pigs? And the answer is absolutely, we take good care. And they can sit there and they can watch. They can sit there for 8 hours in a day. They'll see everything that is done on a sow farm. You know, the breeding, the moving, the birthing. The only thing that they will not see is we don't show them castration. It's only because it's a dignity question for a baby pig. There's no need to watch castration. It's fast process. and they put them right back on the sow, and it's done. But everything else essentially is shown to the public, and we designed the farm for that. And I'm very proud of what we do there. That's those people who are compassionate and all about taking care of the pigs. The people up above sit there and they watch the pig and they go, man, that pig's amazing. And then they watch the people and they go, what do those people know that I don't know? Could I ever do something like that? It's almost like watching a surgeon or a nurse take care of a person, only these people are taking care of the pigs. And they come away with this high regard for what the people are doing. And they feel that the people who take care of the amazing pigs are amazing unto themselves. And I love that. That's really what this is about. And now we can actually stream this, and it's going across the nation. My son Nick heads up a foundation called LEAP Foundation that provides this education by streaming by our employees to schools and classrooms around the nation. And this past year, they had almost 20,000 students participating in this live streaming and education, and they're on their way to 25,000 this year. It's a marvelous piece of technology in a farm that was designed to be able to show people exactly what's going on.
Well, Malcolm DeKryger, thank you for a great in swine versation.
Pleasure's mine, Jim. Hope to see you again someday.